Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Locita Manuara Higin and my student number is A32O240041. So in this video, I will answering 8 questions from 2 samples of Toefl questions for standardized tests of speaking courses. Personally speaking, I agree that schools should mandate some form of physical activity such as resistance training and jogging, because regular exercise improves health, mood, and focus, which can boost academic performance. However, participation must be safe and inclusive, requiring medical clearance for students with health concerns and offering multiple activity options and intensity levels to accommodate different abilities. With proper accommodation and safety measures, the program can promote lifelong healthy habits while ensuring fairness and well-being for all students. Based on the passage, the university is introducing a policy to limit friends and relatives from visiting dormitories for more than 3 consecutive nights because frequent or long visits can disturb other students and affect their study routines. The male students understand the reasoning behind this policy but disagrees with it. He believes that students should just ask their roommates for permission to avoid any inconvenience. He also mentions that single-room residents won't affect others. He shares his own experience when his roommate's brother stayed over after asking for permission, and it actually helped them become closer. He thinks communication between roommates is a better way to handle visits than strict rules. The passage explains hilltopping, a behavior observed in many insect species where males climb to the top of hills and compete for territories to attract females. These behaviors signals genetic fitness, giving males at the highest points the best chances of mating. The biology lecture elaborates on this by giving examples of Higin butterflies and tarantula hawk wasps. Male Higin butterflies climb mountains over 2,500 meters to compete for the highest territories, with larger male usually winning. The tarantula hawk wasps show similar behavior, flying to hilltops to compete, with large males found not only at peaks but also at lower elevations, indicating mating occurs along this ascents. Together, these examples demonstrate how territorial competition drive mating strategies in these insects, supporting the idea of hilltopping as a reproductive strategy based on location and physical fitness. From the audio, I can say that business establishes social and economic connections to build customer loyalty and increase sales. Social connections happen when staff personally interact with customers, making them feel comfortable and valued. For example, when a customer has questions about a product, helpful staff provide clear answers, which builds trust and encourages this customer to buy. On the other hand, economic connections involve offering concrete benefits like discounts or coupons. These incentives motivate customers to choose the company again. An example from the lecture is a person choosing a coffee because of a Starbucks coupon. In summary, social connections create emotional loyalty through personal interaction, while economic connections provide practical reasons to keep buying, both helping business grow. In my opinion, I prefer to work in a relaxed environment because it greatly affects mental and emotions well-being. When the work atmosphere is calm and healthy, it helps improve performance because we are less likely to become tired or fall ill from constant mental pressure. For example, in a relaxed workplace, employees can focus better and sustain their energy longer, which leads to higher productivity and fewer absence due to stress or burnout. This kind of environment supports not only physical health, but also keeps the mind clear, enabling us to work more effectively and happily. Overall, a relaxed work environment promotes both well-being and better job performance. This balance is essential for sustained success at work. According to the announcement, the university's Recreational Services Department plans to increase the number of exercise machines in the campus gym due to many students' complaints about the insufficient number of machines. This is because the gym has become busier with more students enrolling. However, the man opposes this proposal. First, he argues that the gym is not actually crowded, as he rarely has to wait to use the machines. Moreover, he mentions that the campus already has many exercise options, such as swimming pools and sports teams. So adding more machines may not encourage more students to exercise. From his point of view, the proposal might not be necessary or effective. This is why he disagrees with the plan to increase exercise machines. The law of diminishing returns in economic theory explains that when more of a variable input like labor is added to a fixed input like capital, the increase in output will eventually become smaller. The lecture example illustrates this by showing that initially adding more labor or capital increased production, but after a certain point, the output gains decline. This happens because resources become less efficient when overused, so each additional input contributes less to the total output. This concept helps business understand when to stop investing more resources because further investment will not produce proportional returns, guiding smarter strategic planning. Procedural programming designs software as a sequence of step-by-step procedures or functions that operate on data, often using global variables and passing data between functions. In contrast, object-oriented programming organizes software around objects, which encapsulate both data and the functions they operate on the data. Procedural programming focuses on tasks and their stepwise execution, while object-oriented programming models real-world entities through objects and classes. Procedural programs may be simpler but can lead to scattered data management, whereas object-oriented programs promote modularity, data encapsulation, and reuse. For example, a procedural program might have separate functions to read and process data, but an object-oriented approach would combine data and behaviors in object, like a car class, with properties and methods. Both paradigms have their uses depending on the complexity of the software. So this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.